If you're watching this on YouTube and you have a question, comment, suggestion, or maybe you just want to find out more information about the product, you can find the link below. Hello again, I'm Rodney Reynolds from 3GameMan.com and welcome to another video review. Today I'm looking at the Cooler Master Game Xtreme 2 GXII 650 watt power supply. A great looking box that has a picture of the power supply on the front of it, as well as some other features and specifications about it. Note the plastic wrap on the outside. Let me remove that and let's see what's on the inside. Included is a user's manual, power cord, as well as 4 regular black screws, and the power supply, which is in this bubble wrap bag. So let's have a closer look at it. Now this is the second generation of the very popular Game Xtreme power supply. That power supply was one of Cooler Master's best sellers because it was compatible, durable, and priced aggressively. This one has been tweaked. It also includes a new silent fan as well as a non-stop USB power plug. And I'll go over that a little later on in the video review. Now the Game Xtreme 2 line of power supplies are currently available in a number of different wattages: 400, 450, 550, 650, and 750. So lots of wattages to choose from, and you can pick the one that's best going to fit your particular power needs. Now, how is this wattage determined? Well, to understand this, you need to know what rails are. Rails are basically well-regulated transformers which convert domestic current into the voltages that your computer system can use, and there are essentially 2 different rails, the 3.3/5 volt rail and the 12 volt rail. Now, in this particular case, the approximate maximum peak output of the 3.3/5 volt rail is 120 watts, and the 12 volt rail is 624 watts. So this is essentially how the wattage of this power supply is determined. Now the 3.3/5 volt rail is responsible for the motherboard, memory, PCI cards, and so on, while the 12 volt rail is responsible for the hard drives, optical drives, fans, CPU, video cards, etc. It's also important to know the peak amps on each rail. And in this case, the 3.3 volt and the 5 volt rails, they are both 20 amps each. And it has, thankfully, a single plus 12 volt rail, and that is 52 amps. The power supply is a very crucial, important part of your computer system, so do not cheap out on the power supply. Make sure you get a brand name power supply. And there are a number of important things to remember when selecting a power supply. The first is wattage. Determine how much wattage you are going to require by the amount of hardware that you will be installing, and also future-proof the purchase. And what I mean by that is maybe in 6 months or a year from now, you're thinking about adding another video card. Well, keep that in mind. Now, generally speaking, a medium to high-end gaming rig would require a 500 to 700 watt power supply. For a hardcore system, select a power supply that's around 800 watts. If, however, you are building an extreme gaming rig with a top-of-the-line multiple video card setup with lots of other hardware, select a power supply that's 1000 watts or greater. Second, it should be at or above 80% efficiency at typical load. This power supply's efficiency is 85% at typical load. Third, it should meet the latest ATX and other current standards, environmental directives, over voltage, under voltage, and other protections. This power supply meets all current standards. Fourth, I'd recommend choosing a power supply that has APFC. APFC, or active power factor correction, assists the power supply in being more efficient and therefore stable under load. APFC basically reduces total harmonics, corrects input voltage, and allows for full input voltage range, and thankfully this power supply has APFC. Fifth, there are 3 main certifications: AD+, NVIDIA SLI, and AMD Crossfire. Now, many of today's high-end power supplies meet one or more of these certifications, and this power supply meets the 80+ bronze certification. Sixth, if you're building an extreme gaming rig and you're looking for a super high quality, high wattage power supply, I would go with one that uses Japanese capacitors, because in general, it does mean a more reliable product than a power supply with low grade capacitors. Now, this power supply does not have Japanese capacitors. However, there's a reason for that, of course. It is what you would consider a budget to low cost power supply option. I mean, this is not a platinum certified power supply. And also, for the most part, if they are decent quality capacitors and the power supply comes with a really good warranty, I wouldn't worry so much about getting a power supply that doesn't use Japanese capacitors. And this power supply does come with a 5-year warranty, and that's a couple years beyond what you'd find normal power supplies in this class. A lot of power supplies in this class will have a 2 or 3 year warranty, and this one comes with a 5-year warranty. Finally, get a power supply that has enough leads for your setup. Also consider a power supply that has a modular design because it reduces the cable mess inside the case. The overall build quality and styling on this is quite nice. As you can see, it is all black. The housing is steel. They also include a very quiet 120 millimeter fan, and note there's lots of ventilation, so this power supply should remain cool in almost any environment. Here is the power cord connection and the power switch. This power supply isn't modular. As you can see, all of the leads are hardwired into the power supply and they cannot be removed, but the leads are sleeved. Now, personally, I prefer power supplies that have modular leads because you only need to use the ones required for your particular setup, and this reduces the cable mess inside the case as well as increasing airflow. This power supply has something rather unique. What you're looking at here is a nonstop USB power plug. This end gets connected into the motherboard, and then the other end would get connected into the case's I/O ports at the front. So you can charge whatever you need to charge using the USB connector when the PC is off. Finally, have a listen to the 120 millimeter fan. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video review, this power supply comes in a number of different wattages: 400, 450, 550, 650, and 750. But a 650 watt power supply will do fine for most people. And you don't need to really skimp on hardware neither. Now, I'm not talking about, some kind of an extreme gaming build, not that, but something in the middle. This would be perfect for that and well suited. If you want something a little bit more powerful, you can go with their 750 watt model. Now, this power supply isn't gold or platinum certified, and it doesn't come with modular leads. What it has going for it is major bang for the buck. And that's what most of us are looking for these days. Some can afford the super high quality power supplies and they're willing to pay a premium for them. But if you're not, this is a perfect option because it is 80 plus bronze certified, comes with a quiet 120 millimeter fan. It does have that rather unique nonstop USB power plug and comes with a 5-year warranty. Overall, this is a kick-ass product. Until next time, take care. How do you think this product stacks up? To vote, head on over to 3dgameman.com, and while you're there, check out the pricing.